Good morning. Today is day 69 of moving mountains beneath my feet. We are 91 days on our journey on this earth spinning. It's going around the sun. There's 274 days left in the year. And this is episode 46, I believe. I started today late with storming pretty heavy. And I was going to do it anyway, just as an exercise of doing stuff that's slightly uncomfortable. I don't mind the rain. I actually really like when it's pouring down and I'm hiking. But I had to do, today's a cleanse day, and it's one of the harder days. I have to do straight juice today. So the only thing I can drink or eat is watermelon juice. So I had to do all the juicing this morning. And we'll see how I do with that. It's for 2 days. And, the cleanse has been a challenge for me, but it's representative of my life, right? It's like I'm doing the best I can. Sometimes I get too hungry and I eat bad, do the wrong thing. I'm not following the protocols that I'm supposed to. It's like I can't be perfect. I'm a human being. And it is like that in life, right? We have this ideal that we're shooting for, but a lot of times, you can't be perfect. You can't do things perfectly exactly as you wish you could. And we actually had an episode on perfection, me and Elsie, last week on the May the Love of People Find You. It was a pretty good one, I think. A lot of people struggle with perfectionism. But I'm doing this cleanse. I did all the juicing this morning, and I drank my first juice of watermelon. And let me tell you, it just immediately makes me feel different. Right? It's like so high vibe. It's like so, you vibrate at a higher level. It's like, it's ridiculous. My coach, my person, she would say juice is like liquid sunshine in a bottle. She would say, living liquid sunshine in a bottle. And that's so true. It's like when you drink this natural, nature-made juice from nature, it's what our body is made for, right? And I can't help but notice the difference that I feel immediately when I'm drinking something like watermelon juice or any of the natural juices that she's made me or I've tried with her. And so I have something going on. It's pretty vulnerable. My daughter, she's got a sickness in her body. And they're trying to tell us that it's an autoimmune issue. It's junior rheumatoid arthritis is what it is. And they're telling the mother of my children that my daughter's immune system is attacking her own body. And even in my little bit of research, I know that doesn't make any sense, right? And upon deeper research, this might get sticky. I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. I'm not a doctor, number one, but I don't believe doctors really and Big Pharma have any kind of incentive to heal people, right? People are getting sicker. They're not getting better. Yes, there are certain diseases that have been eradicated, but look at all the other ones that have popped up in its place and made people dependent on pharmaceutical drugs. And so I do believe that nature knows best. Autoimmune is still a theory. It's never been proven. And there's so many people who suffer from this kind of thing. Long story short is I am basically begging for the mother of my children to allow us to try a natural way. Juicing, foods, fruit, let the body do the healing versus getting my little girl stuck on pharmaceutical drugs. And she's open, right? She's open. She's not a believer, a big fanatic of this thing. And this is nothing against her. It is just something that comes up for people. And it's just insane how natural things, how we can get anything we need from nature, right? How fruits and live raw foods can heal us, right? How does that work? It's insane. And we human beings get in the mix, and we need to make a profit, and we need to try to make up our own thing when the answers have always been underneath our nose. And And before I go on like this rant against doctors and stuff like that, yes, doctors do want to help people, but they get very little to no training on nutrition, right? It's like you would think, right, that you would start with something like nutrition, but that is not allowed, that's not taught. That's not taught by the medical journals, it's not taught in the schools. It is literally 2 weeks, 3 weeks or less of nutritional training, and they really rarely ever try to use nutrition. They always want to prescribe medications because that's how they get paid, that's how they make money, that's how the system works. And it's not so much about the big evil corporations, right? It's called self-preservation, right? You can't choke yourself. If you wanted to choke yourself, you know, the only way you could choke yourself is if you hung yourself and you had no way to like lift your body up. But if you try to choke yourself with your hands, your body will not allow you to. And it's no different for a big organization. A big organization like big pharma, pharmaceutical companies, the medical industrial complex, whatever you want to call it. It's a big organization that feeds a lot of people. It provides jobs for a lot of people. It provides a lot of services. There's infrastructure, there's manufacturing. There's so many different things that are wrapped up in this. And the incentives are not able to be aligned to actually heal and help people, right? Why would they create something that would kill their customer base? Not literally kill their customer base. I mean, end their customers, right? Like they would, if they were really focused on healing people, then there would be no need for them. But that's not the issue. That's not the case, right? That's not what's going on. And I can feel myself getting a little in the weeds on this. What I'm trying to say is that it's not about this conspiracy that they're trying to harm us and hurt us, which there very well may be something like that along the lines, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the incentives for self-preservation of a giant industry will not allow for the outcomes that we as human beings want, right? We want healthier, happier children. We want happier, healthier lives. And the way that we're headed with the food that we eat is the number one thing that's causing all of our problems, and we're going the opposite direction. And it's not going to get any better. And so, anyway, that's my little rant I wanted to talk about because it's on my mind. I'm doing this detox and I want to get my daughter to heal through nature, right? The incentives of a medical system is, you know, at the level of the doctor, yes, they may want to help people, right? But they're not even able to use the tools that have been shown to help people naturally because it goes against the self-preservation of their own industry, right? If you could heal people with fruits and vegetables, and this was mainstream information, there would be such a dramatic loss in profits and such a dramatic loss of that industry, right? And it is just what it is, right? Like, there's so many there's so many systems in our world that are incentivized for the wrong thing. This is just one of them, right? Yeah, I can keep talking about this. I want to switch the subject. Moving on. I heard something from, I can't say his name. I think it's Gabor Mateo. He was talking about how vulnerability is the only way for growth. It's like a tree can't grow in its hard parts. It only grows where it's soft and green. And everything is like that. You can't grow without being vulnerable. And this is totally, you know, this subject is vulnerable for me. It's a touchy subject. It's something that I know people have a lot of opinions on, but I'm definitely open to learning how to grow through this, in this vulnerability, right? Because, you know, in this instance, me and the mother of my children are obviously not together. We live in separate places, and I have very little control over what happens. You know, it's very much up to her how this actually gets implemented, and it really comes down to being able to communicate and be vulnerable with her about how I feel about my daughter's well-being and her health, and being open and allowing her to be vulnerable. I know she wants the best for our child, and I want the best for our child. And I definitely don't believe that pharmaceutical medicine is going to be the thing that heals her and helps her. And obviously there's some guilt around this because this has been going on for a long time. And I have to remember that you can't do better until you know better. And so now that I've been on this journey for at least a year now, I do know better, and I definitely want to do better. And so that was my rant for today. I hope everyone has a beautiful, magical day today. Blessings.